Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 5 for PRT2008 Agriculture, and today we are going to do presentation about melon.
Origin and history of melon crop. There's three types of melons in Malaysia. Probably rock melon, watermelon, and honeydew. Next. Rock melon. It is a species of the family Cucurbitaceae, and the scientific name is Melon variety Cantaloupensis. Malaysian has its own melon, which is Malaysian rock melon, and it has slightly different taste and texture. Rock melon also called as cantaloupe. It's named after a town in Italy, Cantalupo in Samina. And basically, rock melon is from South Asia and Africa, India and Iran, if I'm not mistaken. It has been introduced to Europe, and in 1890 it became a commercial crop in the United States. Next is watermelon. Watermelon is a species in the family of Cucurbitaceae as well. The scientific name is Cucurbitacus lanotus, and it's also from Africa. And in 10th century, it has been introduced to Asia, which is China, and now China is one of the world watermelon producer, and in the 15th century it spread in Europe. Next is honeydew. It's a species in the family of Cucurbitaceae, same as melon before, and it comes from Middle Eastern and Western Asian, and it cultivated in the Middle East, and in 15th century it reached Europe. Next.
Hello, my name is Kimi. I'm going to present about economic value, business and profit. Next. We all love watermelon, and we all love money too, right? I will talk about both of them. About the marketing, watermelon are not grown just for eating, but we are also growing it for the fresh market. It is a large-scale producers generally use brokers who provide the marketing service to the producers. Brokers, in other words, is dealers. And for the prices, the average US farm price for watermelon in 2017 was $14.90 per 100 pounds. And average retail price for non-organic red flash seeded type range between $0.31 to $0.38 per pound, and $0.46 and $0.55 per pound. About the financials, the average yields per acre and average price of fresh market watermelons produces on average grows approximately $4,300 per acre in 2014. We can see how large is the numbers of the money we get only for the watermelon. Next. For the production, according to the USDA Economic Research Service, over 130,000 acres of watermelons were grown in the US in 2017. From US only, they're producing 40.01 million pounds of watermelons. And watermelons are grown across the US. Most production occurs in the top 4 states, which is Texas, Florida, Georgia, and California. And those 4 producing approximately 69% of all grown in the US. We can see how much watermelons just from the US. And all but 24% of domestic consumption of watermelons come from US. Here we can see 24% of watermelon consumed are from the US growers. And the seedless varieties typically started as transplants rather than from direct seeding. And it requires more intensive management, with the cost differences generally visible at the retail level. US cash receipts for watermelon was $578.8 million in 2016. Thank you.
Next, let's move on issue and challenges. basically, on my research, I have found 4 issues and challenges that are worldwide. So first of all is temperature. To planting a watermelon, we need a warm temperature that is not too high and not too low. So basically, Malaysia have the good temperature to plant a watermelon. So they have good produce and the taste is very nice. Other than that, they can look muskmelons. Muskmelon is the melon skin is covered with netting, veins, and musk smell. The skin of the melon will have some like netting that will looks like pale. The colors look like pale, and the taste is more like sour. The third one is overwatering. This is we can relate to biology. If we overwatering the plant, then the chlorophyll leaf turn yellow, and there is too much water because the osmosis within the water and chlorophyll. And then when it is overwatering, the chlorophyll will explode. So the yellow will turn yellow. The leaf will turn yellow. The last one is location. Melons like sandy, loam, amended with organic matter for growing. So basically, to plant a melon, we need a sand like sandy loam, and with organic. Sandy loam is like something like clay, but it's not too much water. So in the middle lah. So basically, they will mix it with organic to make it more healthier. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Melon, and
Okay.
the problem of the in cropping watermelon is one is pollution. Pollution first. In Malaysia, we know that we have haze every year. So when we have haze, the plant will have get lack of oxygen, and when the plant get lack of not enough oxygen, the plant will not be too quality. It's not good. So it because that the nutrient in the fruit will be less. So the crop is not too good. And second, pollution from UV ray. The UV ray will damage the leaf of the melon. It's called muskmelon. The leaf will become yellowy. So when the leaf become yellowy, the crop will not too good. Okay, next environment. The soil we need to not too acidic. It's range in 6 to 6.8 for pH. And next, for the disease, the problem we have is now is aphid. Aphid is a pest that can make the plant damage. It will move toxin and virus to the leaf. It will decrease rate of the photosynthesis on the crop and inhibit regrowth of plant. And also, this aphid absorbs sweet liquid from stem and fruit, so the fruit will be damaged. So it's not good. So next.
Alright, moving on to method of planting the melon crop. Next. As you can see, first we need to prepare the planting area, which is we need to choose a sunny location. The ground temperature must be above 70 degrees so that the seed will germinate. Next, fertilize the soil. the soil pH must be between 6.0 to 6.8 to ensure the sufficient calcium level. And then cultivate the area where to plant the melons. Prepare the soil in plant bags by breaking it up with a shovel or a tiller. Alright, okay. Into the planting the melons. First, plant the melons in late spring after the last frost has passed. If we plant the melons in frost, the melon will not survive and seeds are unlikely to germinate if the soil gets too cold. Okay. Second, create the mound of dirt in plant bag. Growing the vine raised row known as hill. As you can see in this picture, mostly of the melons are planted in hills. Each mound should be approximately 1 foot high and between 2 to 3 feet wide. Space the plant about 2 feet apart. Next. Third, sow 5 to 6 seeds in each mound of dirt. Seeds should be planted between 4 to 6 inches below the surface. Saturate the area with water when finished planting. Fourth, protect seed with marked landscaping fabric or row covers, covering the area of the planting melons with plastic, mulch or black landscaping fabric will help preserve the heat in the soil and keep the seedling warm. And cover the plant row with floating row covers to preserve heat while protecting seedling from pests. And lastly, maintaining the melon plants. First, water the melon plants every 2 to 3 days, but be careful not to overwater the plants as this can cause melon to rot. Water the plant less frequently as the melon begin to ripen, as this will allow fruit to develop more flavor and sweetness. Second, fertilize the plant every 3 to 4 weeks. Use a well-balanced fertilizer, put fertilizer or compost in bucket and use hand to sprinkle about 1 tablespoon of fertilizer in the dirt around each of the plants. Next. And monitor the plant for sign of pest or disease. Use row cover, watch for white powdery mildew. Spray the rest of the garden with the fungicide or diluted copper spray. Set insects traps. And lastly, harvest the melon. But don't eat the melon shortly after the harvest. They can be stored in the refrigerator for up to 12 to 15 days.
Okay, so I'm going to present about how to improve the production of melon in the future. So next. So nitrogen is one of the key aspects in supporting in growth and development of the leaf. So too much nitrogen, however, can cause restriction and also can cause thus decreasing the melon yield. So it also maintains a good balance between ammonium and nitrate. So it maintains the pH of the yield and also it a bit increasing the yield. So just like nitrogen, potassium is also boosting yield growth and maximizing the yield potential. It's because it has melons has relatively high potential yield, so that's why it is the same as the nitrogen. And also the phosphorus required during the season for field growth crops and used throughout the growth period, while calcium is needed for the early seedling strength and ensure vigorous leaf development. So any questions? No? Thank you.